Hello, this is Kieran and I'm here with a Julien Blanc reaction video today. This video is called Stop Chasing a Specific Person and Instead Do This. Gonna watch it, offer my thoughts and opinions and see what I agree with, what I don't. But before we get started, if you like the video, like, comment, and please do subscribe. If you like it, it sends it out to more people. If you comment, it sends it out to more people. If you subscribe, you'll get to see more of my content on a regular basis.
The most toxic belief when it comes to relationships, or even friendships, by the way, any kind of human connection, is this whole mindset of you will complete me. We see it in the movies, right? It's all beautiful. It's like someone who's like broken inside and they just struggling through life, and they find that partner. They see the person for the first time and the camera zooms in. There's the sun behind them, sparkles and glamour. And it ends with this happy ending of them being together, completing each other.
Yeah, so even before he starts talking, I know what he's going to say. And he's basically 1000% going to be spot on. When it comes to like relationships or dating or anything like this, you have to come into it with a full cup of self-worth, a full cup of happiness, a full cup of value, etc. Thing is this, if you see yourself as unworthy and you need somebody else to complete you and therefore make you worthy, you're going to come into your relationship with an energy of trying to take something from that person because you're trying to extract value. You need them in order to complete you. If they feel that you need them to complete you, that is going to push them away. They're not going to want to be around that at all. And you will find that you will be dumped or ghosted or whatever way more than you'd like, until you find someone who is basically just as needy as you, and then the two of you can be really needy together in some sort of codependent type situation. It's hard for many people to do, but you just have to come into a relationship knowing that you have worth and that you have value. So the idea is not that you need this person to complete you, it's you're already whole. You are living your life, and your life is cool, your life is great. You love your life, you're doing the things that you want to do, and you're being the person that you want to be. And then you meet someone else with whom you guys can have an amazing life together. You're not completing each other, you're just forming a fantastic unit. It's kind of like being teammates on a sports team. You know, you're not broken, and you're not on this team because you're broken. You're on the team because you're freaking amazing at what you do. And together, the two of you, or the 10 of you, if it's like a football team, or 5 as a basketball team, the sum total of your awesomeness creates something even more awesome. But you're not lacking in any way. You're all fundamentally awesome. And that has to be the way that you approach your relationship.
Right, it's the wedding scene. I was lost before I met you. I was just a half, lost in this world, until I found my second half. And now we are whole. I complete you and you complete me. And everyone cries and it's beautiful and we clap. Yet if you actually think about this whole idea, how toxic is that? Literally, that's the foundation of a toxic relationship. Why? Because what's the implication? I'm not good enough on my own. I'm not whole, I'm just a little half. And I'm seeking my soulmate, my other half, somewhere out here in this world. I hope they're in the same city as me, or I'm screwed. Where's my soulmate, my twin flame? I must find them. I'm on a quest to find the other piece of the puzzle. Terrible. Let's just say you find that other piece. What happens then in the relationship? Oh, great. You found your other half. Not only will that create, first of all, tons of neediness and desperation, but say you get into a relationship with that person, the next thing that's going to kick in immediately is fear of loss. I'm whole now, but what if they leave me?
So basically, relationships, society has a really weird view on relationships. We kind of believe that two people should come together to complete each other, and that you should need the person that you're with in order to sustain your future happiness. But you can't do that. You absolutely can't. If you are dating some woman, or if you're just messaging some woman or whatever, it doesn't really matter where you are on the path of absolutely nothing to fuck buddy to marriage or whatever. if they feel like you need them, if you are scared of losing them, you will sabotage everything. Why? You know why? Because if you're scared of losing a partner, you're going to start to get insecure, aren't you? So you're going to start saying things for like, oh, you're going to go out dressed like that. Who are you going with? You're going to start to want to micromanage everything that's going on around her. Or maybe you'll go the other direction. Maybe you'll turn into a spineless wimp. Maybe you'll think to yourself, well, all right, well, if I do anything that annoys her, she might leave. Therefore, I'm not going to do anything that annoys her at all. And not to say you should do things that annoy her, but what that's going to play out into is I should agree with everything she says. I should acquiesce to every demand that she makes. Every demand, even if it puts me out. I should put her first every single freaking time. I should never actually think about me. We should only ever do things that she wants to do. We should live completely, totally, wholly in her reality. That's the kind of stuff you'll be doing. And in the act of doing that, you will be lowering yourself. You will be showing that you have no value. Why? Because, well, what's one thing that women want from a man? They want a man that is basically above them. They want a man that is taller than them. They want a man that's stronger. They want a man that makes more money. They want a man that's more secure. They want a man with a better life, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is this. If you are so afraid of losing her that you acquiesce to everything and you're not being yourself, you're revealing yourself to be weaker than her. You are. You're revealing yourself to not be the kind of man that she wants and not be the kind of man that she needs. And in that scenario, it is only a matter of time before she starts to lose attraction for you, interest in you, respect for you, and bolts in another direction.
Then I'm a half again. Oh no. And it'll translate into manipulation. Tons of manipulation, attachment and manipulation. More often than not, unconscious, where you are going to try to manipulate your partner into staying with you because you fear that if they leave, you're back to being a half. And if they're in the same mindset, it's the same thing. Usually it's both parties. There's all this unconscious manipulation trying to trap each other there because there's that fear that, hey, if they leave, I'm back to not being good enough. Extremely toxic. Instead, realize, and this is done through inner work and letting go, that you are good enough, that you are whole. And what is love? It's two whole people coming together, and there's a certain synergy that happens called love. Otherwise, it's attachment. When you understand this too, you realize that most people have never actually experienced love. They only experience attachment and craving. They experience that neediness and attachment first. It's like, I really wish I was with this person. They would complete me. Oh, I'm so needy and desperate. And even if they get the person, it's a continuation of that neediness. But now combined with the fear of loss. Stay with me. Please don't leave me. Stay with me. Oh, what if they leave me? What can I do to try to keep them there? Even in terms of relationship advice, people are like, hey, I need advice for my relationship. What can I do to keep my partner attracted? What can I do to keep them with me? Are there any tips and tricks to keep them? I don't want them to leave. It's the whole same thing. It's the same dynamic. How toxic is that? Key perspective to sink into is, hey, what if you were alone the rest of your life? What if the universe came to you and said, you, forever alone? What would get triggered within? Oh no, I'm not good enough for me. Could you be okay with that? All those...
Basically, what I suspect he's about to say right now is fundamentally the core and key of all of this. It's like the only way to not be the person who does everything that me and him have been speaking about here is to fall in love with yourself. But then how do you actually fall in love with yourself? Because that's a tough thing. Most of us don't really like ourselves at all. Most of us look in the mirror and we go, you know what? You're not pretty enough. You're not funny enough. You're not clever enough. You're not the right race. Some people even think they're not the right gender. You're just lacking in every possible way. Your body is the wrong shape, blah, blah, blah. You did X, Y, and Z when you were at school and you are a piece of crap because of that. We have these sorts of thoughts, we have these sorts of feelings, and you got to get over that. But then how do you get over that? Well, I'll tell you what's worked for me. What's worked for me is to spend time alone with myself. I say this to the nth degree and I'll keep saying it now. So it's like, I don't know about you, but we tend to do things to distract ourselves. In fact, you are probably watching this video as a distraction right now. You know how I know? Because I have spent countless hours watching YouTube specifically to distract myself from the thoughts that are in my mind, or were in my mind. I spent countless hours or listening to music or doing all sorts of stuff. Point is this: when you switch off those distractions, right? So if you was to switch off this video right now, or if you stop looking at the porn, or you stop playing the video games, or you don't go shopping, or you stop listening to the music, you stop watching the TV, or whatever the hell it is, right? And you just switch off that distraction, then these thoughts bubble to the surface. And those thoughts bubbling to the surface is really uncomfortable. It's really painful. We don't like that at all, because those thoughts aren't pleasant, which is why we wanted to run away from them. But if you face them, if you actually get in the pocket and then just face these thoughts, that's how you overcome them, because they tell you things about yourself. Like, for instance, I've given this example so many times, but years and years and years ago, I was in my parents' house, and I was in my bedroom upstairs, and I felt terrible, and I was doing all of the distraction stuff that I'm telling you about now. And I was distracting like YouTube, Netflix. And then at some point I was like, hold on, what the hell am I doing? I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to face the thing that I'm running from. So I sat down, I said, what the hell's going on? And then it came to me, it's like, oh, I feel bad because I'm terrible with money. And I'm ashamed of the fact that I'm terrible with money. Once that hit me, I became like a demon, and I started working to transform my financial situation. But if I didn't actually sit down and look, that demonic transformation would never occur. And that's what we need to do in general. You have to get to know yourself. Like, one thing to do is like, how do you talk to yourself? So do you speak to yourself like you're a treasured and valued friend who you love and appreciate? Because if not, you're going to have bad outcomes, and you're probably going to continue to feel like you're a piece of crap and continue to attract these kind of needy dynamics with partners. Do you speak to yourself like you're a great and treasured and valued friend? Do you speak to yourself like you would hope your 5-year-old daughter or niece talks to herself? Because if you don't, then bad things will happen. But that's what you need to do. So basically, you stop the distractions, face your thoughts, and when these thoughts come up, and they will, you gotta like challenge them and say, no. That is not the way I see myself. I see myself like this. That is not the way I see myself. I see myself like that. And mentally rehearse thinking the way that you actually want to think. And is that going to be easy? No, it's probably going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done. But you do it, and it will pay massive dividends. And like a month later, you'll be like, whoa. And 2 months later, you'll be like, whoa. And 3 months later, you'll be like, whoa. But that's it. Like, don't run from yourself. Challenge your thoughts. Challenge your beliefs. Oh, another thing as well, actually, you got to write out exactly who you want to be as well. So like, who is the person that you want to be? Because let's say you're always putting yourself down. Well, if you're the kind of person who puts yourself down and you feel like you're a piece of crap, well, now you need to know exactly what type of thoughts you want to have about yourself, or what kind of person you want to be. So you need to write that down as well, and then mentally rehearse the thoughts of that person, and also the actions and the behaviors as well. But in doing so, you will slowly reprogram yourself, and then you will exude less or none of this needy energy.
All those sensations that get activated, that's what you want to let go of. Now, does that mean intention-wise, aim to be alone? Of course not. But as soon as you are no longer triggered by this perspective of being alone forever, then you can actually take proactive, healthy action in terms of getting into a relationship. And it will not be motivated by this neediness and craving, followed by manipulation. And that's the whole dynamic of neediness, if you think about it. What do? We take a part of ourselves and we place it behind this wall, this barrier, right? You can think of it like this, okay? This is neediness. You are a little Pac-Man, where you take a part of you and you place it behind a wall. You're like, I'm not good enough. There's a void within, a dark hole inside my soul. But if I could just, and this wall could be anything, get a partner and be in a relationship, then I would be whole again. If I could just accomplish X amount of success, then I'll get the missing piece back and I'll be whole. So it's this self-generated lack, where you choose, I'm not good enough as I am. I'm putting the part of me behind this wall, and then you chase it. As opposed to, no, I am whole as I am. And sure, I can go after this goal, but before or after, I'm whole and nothing affects my self-worth. The insanity of neediness is just baffling. It's no different than me saying this. Everyone, I'm incomplete right now, but when I hold this pen, I am enhanced. Look how much better I am. The solution was I just had to hold the pen. See, I was incomplete.
If you are incomplete, being in a relationship with somebody can't make you complete because it's still not actually you. So just like holding the pen isn't going to make you complete, it's like, what kind of madness is that? It's just a pen. In what way does the pen now make you complete? It's not you. Being in a relationship with somebody won't make you complete either. You're not complete, it's still not you. That person can never actually be you unless that person wants to come into your psyche and like merge with your body, which is impossible. You can never be completed by being with somebody else. And to be honest with you, I've never felt completed being with anyone else, and I'm sure you haven't either.
And then the barrier was holding the pen, which gave me access to the missing piece, and I'm now complete. Am I a better person now that I'm holding this pen? Or is it the same me holding the pen? It's the same me. Same with neediness. I'm single. I'm incomplete. Relationship. Woohoo! It's the same you. I have no money. I need money. I have money. I'm not good looking. I wish I was better looking. I'm better. Insane, no? That's what we all do. If you feel enhanced by how much money you have, you're holding the money pen. If you feel enhanced by being in a relationship, you're holding the relationship pen. If you feel enhanced by the friends you have, you're holding the friendship pen. If you feel enhanced by your looks, you're holding the looks pen. But it's the same thing. What about, no, I'm enhanced, I'm good enough before, I'm good enough after. Nothing can enhance me, nothing can diminish me. I have money, great, it's the same me who has money. I don't have money, it's the same me who doesn't have money. I'm in a relationship, it's the same me in a relationship, same me out of a relationship. But it's the same me. Nothing enhances you or diminishes you unless you let it and you decide so.
This is a good place to end this video. It's a very good video, so do check it out after this if you like. But yeah, you know fundamentally what it kind of boils down to is, right? It boils down to being comfortable in your own skin. We've all heard the meaning, we've all heard the phrase being comfortable in your own skin. I've heard it millions of times, you have too. But it took me a while to realize what that actually means, because you hear it so much that the words kind of lose meaning, and it's like, oh yeah, he's not comfortable in his own skin, he's not comfortable in his own skin. And we really just mean like this person isn't confident, or maybe this person doesn't like themselves, which is true. But what I realized it really means is you have to be comfortable in your own skin, meaning that with nothing else going on, there is no distraction, you're not at a party, there's no one telling you a funny joke that you're laughing at, you're not playing an amazing video game, you're not in the middle of having sex with somebody, you are just being with yourself. You need to be comfortable with that. i.e., is the feeling of being me a pleasant one, or is it unpleasant? Do I actually like being me, or do I not? You know, like they say, well, you know something about drug addicts, right? I don't know if you know this about drug addicts, but effectively, drug addicts are drug addicts because they are trying to self-medicate from pain. So the vast, overwhelming majority of them, they've suffered some form of trauma, usually childhood trauma, and they don't like being themselves at all, and they are constantly running from that trauma by taking whatever drug that they take. But the thing is that not all drug addicts are frigging drug addicts. A lot of us are just addicts for other things. A lot of us are addicts for relationships. A lot of us are addicts for junk food. A lot of us are frigging porn addicts, as I've mentioned a few times. A lot of us are movie addicts. A lot of us are shopping addicts. A lot of us are frigging work addicts as well, like career addiction, because you need to focus on the career, focus on the career, focus on the career. Because if I focus on my career and I make my career as great as it could be, then that makes me feel better, because deep down I don't actually feel worthy. So I have to focus and pour all of my energy into making as much money as I possibly can, just so that I can get to finally feel like I'm good enough. This is kind of like what we all do. And people aren't comfortable in their own skin. But yeah, again, being comfortable in your own skin, what you do, you got to practice being in your own skin. Like I said earlier, is it easy? No, it isn't. It isn't. Something I do every day, actually. I spend, 4, maybe 5 hours, like just with myself. Like I used to listen to all sorts of stuff throughout the day. I kind of never do it now. Like I will listen to some kind of motivational thingamajigme at the gym. I would do that. Outside of that, it is literally just me alone with my thoughts. And it's challenging, but it's great. Like I say, the more I do it, the more I get in touch with the guy in the mirror, the more I realize that guy has immense, wonderful, massive and intrinsic value. The better I feel and the more confident, charismatic I am, the less I realize that I need anybody else, etc. Same is true for you. But anyway, that's the end of this video. So if you do like the video, comment and subscribe. Please do, because when you do that, you are telling YouTube to show it to more people, and it helps me out a lot. And again, if you subscribe, you will be what are you going to be doing? You'll be able to see more of my content. Anyway, something I want to say is that I've got a book that's coming out, right? I've got a book that is coming out. This book is called N-Word. And what the hell is N-Word about? Well, it's about an 85-year-old white woman who dies and is immediately reincarnated in the body of a sexy black Instagram model. Instagram and OnlyFans model. She goes on a rampage of drink, drugs, sex and violence, making up for what she did not get to experience in her first life, but she's also dealing with the subconscious psychological ramifications of a lifetime of misery, pain and regret. Not only is this going to be an absolutely mega brilliant book, but it's quite erotic as well. And if you want to know how to communicate in a way that turns women on, right, in a subtle way that turns them on and gets their juices flowing, you need to read this book. There's a link in the description to an IG page I've created to promote the book, from where you will be able to, you'll be able to catch up with what's going on and find out when it's released so that you can buy it. That said, goodbye, take care, see you later, au revoir, and ciao.